This station remembers the women who followed Jesus to the cross. Only Luke records this moment. A large number of people followed him, including women who mourned and wailed for him. Jesus turned and said to them, "Daughters of Jerusalem, do not weep for me. Weep for yourselves and for your children." While the religious leaders celebrated and the Roman soldiers laughed, these women wept. They weren't his disciples. They were daughters of Jerusalem, women of the city who were moved by what they saw: a man being led to execution, blood, suffering, injustice, and they responded with grief. Their mourning was probably loud and public, the kind of wailing that was traditional at funerals in that culture. These women were giving Jesus what they thought he deserved: a proper lament, the dignity of being grieved. But Jesus stopped and turned to them. Even in his agony, he thought about others, and he told them, "Don't weep for me. Weep for yourselves and your children." Why? Because Jesus knew something they didn't. His suffering would lead to resurrection and victory, but Jerusalem's suffering was coming, and it wouldn't end well. Within 40 years, Rome would destroy the city. The temple would be burned. The people would be scattered. The judgment Jesus had wept over when he entered Jerusalem on Palm Sunday was approaching. He was heading to 3 days of suffering that would end in triumph. They were heading to generations of suffering with no end in sight. So he told them, "Save your tears. You're going to need them." But there's something else happening in this exchange. Jesus is distinguishing between two kinds of grief. There's the grief of sympathy, feeling sorry for someone's suffering, and there's the grief of repentance, recognizing your own need to change. These women felt sympathy for Jesus. That's beautiful. But Jesus knew sympathy alone wouldn't save them. They needed repentance. They needed to recognize that the suffering they were witnessing revealed something about the human condition, their condition, that needed addressing. It's easy to feel moved by Jesus' suffering. Millions of people have wept watching passion plays or crucifixion movies. We can be stirred emotionally by the story without being changed by it. Jesus doesn't just want our tears, he wants our transformation. He doesn't need our sympathy, he needs our surrender, our obedience, our willingness to let encountering him reshape how we live. So as you stand at this station, ask yourself, am I just feeling sympathy for Jesus? Or am I allowing this story to examine my life? When I'm moved by his suffering, does it lead anywhere? Does it change how I treat others? Does it affect my priorities? Tears are appropriate, but let them be tears that lead to change. Let them be tears of recognition that we need what Jesus accomplished on that cross. Let them be tears of gratitude for a love that went this far. The women wept. Jesus asks, "For what are you weeping?"